Today is September 3rd, it's 2015, so we still want to talk some more about being able to take and use Cornell notes, and the essential question is, how can I study my notes? Hopefully you guys did the bell work, hopefully you got it right. Again, it's a PSAT math question, and you guys can expect to see things like that on the PSAT October 14th. The PSAT cannot hurt you, it's not a grade. It just lets teachers know and lets you know how much work you need to do to get ready for college. So this week, our goal is being able to take and use Cornell notes. Again, a perfect score on the scale would be that you are so good at taking Cornell notes and using them to study that you never get less than an A. The goal for the week, if you can just get to taking notes and using Cornell notes to study, that is awesome. From yesterday, a couple things we did a good job of, and some things we need to do a better job of. Yesterday, I thought we did a great job asking tough questions that people could argue about. You guys did a great job with that. We also went to our groups quickly, which was great. Things we need to do a better job of, we need to stay off of our phones, and everyone needs to be involved. There were times yesterday where some people mentally checked out of their group. They weren't helping, and they were just playing on their phones. So let's try to avoid that. You should definitely try to avoid that in all your classes. So you may be wondering, just so we're clear, why are we making up these questions? Well, we want to make questions about our notes to help us study, so we're prepared for tests and quizzes. And making these questions forces you to study your notes, and we talked about this on Monday. That's going to help you remember more from your notes. Making up hard questions for your notes requires you to do more thinking, and more thinking is always a good thing, especially if it's about English, math, science. This is going to be good practice for study habits for any AP honors classes you might take, and of course for college. And again, the more you study and the smarter you study, you'll get better grades. So that's why we are spending some time making up questions. One of the best questions I saw yesterday was this one. Based on this picture, they needed to come up with a tough question. So a tough question they asked was, what does it mean to be legendary? And again, that's something we could definitely argue about, and that's kind of our goal, is to ask questions that you can argue about and that not everyone will agree on, and they'll get discussions and arguments and things like that. So today I want to talk a little bit about Cinderella. If you've seen one of the movies, great. If you know the story, great. If not, that's okay. You can still do the work even if you've never done or know about Cinderella. I guess you'll learn about it today. Here's what we have. We have some easy questions in the level 1 category. Then we have some hard questions in the level 2 category. And the level 3 category is the really, really deep thinking questions that we'll talk about later. But today I just want to focus on the level 2 questions. So what you're going to do in a couple minutes, they gave you the level 1 question, but you need to make it a little bit harder, and you need to make it a level 2 question. I'll leave this up on the screen while you guys are doing your work, and this can give you some hints and help you create some questions. And again, you want to be on this second floor, and you want to create some level 2 questions about Cinderella today. Here's some ones that I was working on. Here are the questions. I'm going to do some really, really tough level 3 questions, and I'll show you how I do them. And I'm going to use this chart over here, and I'm going to do the level 3 questions for examples. But you guys are doing level 2 when you start your work. So 2 of the questions I liked number 5, which was, who finds Cinderella's glass slipper? So I'm going to make a really, really tough level 3 question about that. And I'm going to use some words from the house. I like this predict one right here. So I'm going to make a question. I'm going to change number 5 to make it tough. I'm going to change it to, what would you predict would happen if someone else found her slipper? And I'm also going to do this one, number 6. I'm going to make this a tough question. It says, after Cinderella and the prince married, how do they live? I like what evidence supports, so I'm going to use this question stem to make a question. What evidence from the story we go. What evidence from the story supports that they lived happily ever after? Okay, so I did those. You guys are going to focus on the level 2 questions, and you guys are going to use this house. We want the second floor when you guys are working, and I'll put that back on the screen. So just to recap today what you guys are doing, you're going to change the easy questions, the level 1 questions, and make them hard level 2 questions. You need to write out the level 1 questions, and you need to write out your new level 2 questions. You can talk to the people at your table, but you can't talk to anyone not at your table. And everyone needs to hand in their own slice of paper with their own name on it. So I'm going to set up the screen for you with the house. And you guys have your question stems right here. I will let you guys get to work. Have fun.